Good evening, everyone. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Here.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Here.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Here.
Councilman Marcocha?
Here.
Supervisor Colavita?
Here, good evening, everyone. Anyone care to address the board on a specific agenda item only? There being none, we'll move forward to appointments. We have a memorandum from our controller regarding the probationary appointment of Nahul Rodriguez to the full-time position of laborer, Group F, Step 1, Schedule 3, at the annual salary of $55,147, effective July 7th, 2025. If approved, he'll be required to serve a probationary period which will run not less than 12 weeks and not more than 52 weeks. The appointment is contingent on the successful completion of the background investigation and pre-employment testing. Funds have been provided for in the 2025 budget, and he's been on board, proving his worth for the last while now. So we want to make him permanent. Someone care to make a motion?
So moved. Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. The next is for the town assessor, the tax assessor, and we're recommending the appointment of Michelle Liscio of Eastchester to the position of tax assessor effective October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2031 at the annual salary set forth in the budget. And this is a particularly difficult position. It's very complicated. It involves, as you can imagine, a ton of work and just a lot of expertise. Michelle has worked very hard doing this for the town now for the last few years. And I think she's certainly earned a reappointment. So I'll make the motion for her approval and ask for a second, please.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, we have our approval of the minutes of the June 3rd, 2025 Town Board meeting. Any proposed modifications or amendments?
None.
There being none, someone can make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, we have reports of departments, boards, and commissions. Police Department report. We can receive and file that for May 2025. We have, of course, our monthly report regarding moving violations, V&Ts, also our detective report, and our statements of account. All right, next we have the Law Department report. Mr. Rader?
Yes, good evening. First, I have a resolution authorizing the approval of an agreement for a fireworks event submitted by Celebration Fireworks, Inc., to be held on Friday, June 20th, 2025.
That's a little tradition we're developing in the town, thanks to the Recreation Department. And people will be admitted at 8 o'clock. There'll be an area of the parking lot that'll be, sequestered for people to put out chairs or blankets. There'll also be a DJ there and playing some music, and the fireworks will go off at 9:30. So hope for a dry evening, although, every weekend in this area we're getting rained on. So hopefully it'll work out okay. But it's a nice tradition we've developed, and it'll be an exceptional fireworks show. We're really getting a great performance out of the new firework vendor. So I'll make a motion on this and ask for a second, please.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye.
Okay, next, a resolution authorizing a settlement of a claim by Donna Karen against the town of Eastchester in the amount of $2,144.73 for damages sustained to Mrs. Karen's vehicle on June 11th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye, so Donna Carant, we're going to get some pocketbooks
Yeah.
out of the deal here.
No relation. Sorry.
Okay. Next, we have the Receiver of Taxes report, which we can receive and file for the month of May. Also, we have the Highway Department report. Mr. Latella, anything further to add?
Good evening, Supervisor Colavita, members of the Town Board. I would like to report seasonal flowers were planted within various right-of-ways, and flower baskets were hung on some main business area roadways. The flowers are a bright spot and provide a nice aesthetic beauty to our town. Work under our 2025 street resurfacing project and sidewalk and curb replacement project have commenced. We ask our residents for their patience during this ongoing work. Thank you, Supervisor Calavia, members of the town board. I have nothing further to report.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we have the town clerk's report for the month of May. Anything further to add?
Yeah, I just want to mention that Karen and Lori have been working diligently in the office. It's Garth Road permit season, and yesterday we mailed out 1,300 permits for the Garth Road residents. We still probably have a few stragglers, but the bulk of them are mailed out. The permits start as of July 1st and run through the end of June next year. So everything went pretty smooth so far this year.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, next we have correspondence. You have a memorandum from the controller regarding personnel appointment. We have here a bunch of people that'll be working at Lake Isle, mostly new hires, some rehires, and we're employing a lot of people for the summer season. Someone care to make a motion?
So moved.
All right, I'll second same. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have a memorandum from the controller regarding a request for leave of absence, and we have a leave of absence application for employee number 4159, Labor and Highway Department, and if granted, the leave would be effective 6/17/25 for a period of 4 months. The leave would be without pay and benefits as set forth in our collective bargaining agreement. So someone care to make a motion on this?
So moved. Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have a memorandum from the controller regarding budget transfers. We have some revisions and transfers, mostly TANs and police stuff, and I'll make the motion to approve these and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have a memorandum from the police chief regarding the acceptance of a grant. This is for the Police National Night Out Program. This would be for the sum of $4,000 for our annual event, which will take place on August 5th. And this program is community building campaign. It promotes, police community partnerships and camaraderie, and it's always been, well attended by everybody in the community. So I'll make the motion to approve the $4,000 and ask for a second, please.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Okay, let me see. I think I've got one additional item. That's a memorandum from the Lake Isle manager regarding an addendum to the existing agreement with the town of Eastchester and Bright View Golf Course maintenance. And what they're doing is basically a lot of work. Capital budget has been approved by the town. The scope of the work has, been reviewed. But we have a lot of tree management work, trimming, growth, turf work, and installation of new blacktop to various cart paths along 1, 2, 6, 10, 11, 13, and 16, all with edge repairs. And the authorization to fund this capital work was in the amount of $94,125. Funding has already been approved as part of our capital budget item and will be added to the 2025 budget, Brightview contract payment amount. So someone can make a motion on this?
So moved.
And I'll second same. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. And for business, miscellaneous business, the July and August meetings, the July meeting will be on July 8th at 8 o'clock here in this room, and the August meeting will be on August 12th. 7:30 here in this room on July 8th, and at 7:30 on August 12th. Someone care to make a motion to approve that amendment?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have council member reports. Councilman Marcocha.
Thank you, Supervisor. Some Lake Isle news. Summer officially starts this coming Friday, and it's going to be a hot weekend, so plan to be at Lake Isle. Sign up now if you haven't already. The membership office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekends. Come enjoy an evening of music as well as food from a variety of food trucks, followed by a fireworks show this Friday, June 20th. Doors open at 7 p.m. Festivities begin at 8 p.m. This will take place in the Lake Isle parking lot in the first lot as you drive into Lake Isle. We highly suggest that you park next door in the Vernon Hills Shopping Center and walk over to Lake Isle. Also, the next advisory board meeting is scheduled for Monday, July 21st at 7 p.m. in the community center at Lake Isle. Remember to check out what Gigantes has planned for the next month and over the summer. You can visit www.giganterestaurant.com for a list of events. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilman Nicholson. Councilwoman Nicholson. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. I do not have anything to report this evening, but to all, a happy and safe summer, and keep cool. Thank you.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Thank you, Supervisor. Just very briefly, I just wanted to announce that the Public Service Commission is holding public hearings throughout Westchester. While the majority of them have passed, I think there's one tonight at Saunders High School in Yonkers. The next one will be held in New Rochelle on July 15th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the YMCA, which is located at 50 Wayman Avenue. And, you know, the purpose of that, as I'm sure the residents are aware, I know this board is, if you have fed up with the rate increases and the rate hikes and you want to speak out against it, this is your opportunity to go and speak in front of the Public Service Commission, which oversees and must finally give the approval, if approved, to the Con Edison and other utility companies, if you will. If you can't make it, there's also a website that you can go to. It's the New York Public Service Commission, and you can always send them an email voicing your, disappointment and outrage and whatnot. So that concludes my report, Supervisor.
Thank you. Councilman Jacoby.
Thank you, Supervisor. Just to remind everybody, our summer concert series is back on again. You can see the full lineup at eastchester.gov. We'll be offering 8 concerts in total this summer. They're going to be July 2nd, 9, 11, 16, 18, 23 to 30th, and August 6th, all at the Lake Isle Driving Range. And again, you can go to eastchester.gov for the full lineup of the bands and the sponsors. And thank you to all the sponsors again. I want to say congratulations to our very own Danny George and Sally Valtiti for receiving awards at the Westchester Recreation and Park Society Awards and Scholarship Lunch last week. Danny received the Future Leader Mentor Fellowship Award, and Sally received the Dr. Sal Pravosio Fellowship. So congrats to both of them. That concludes my report.
Thank you. And as much as you guys covered all my ground, I have no report. So that brings us to the second opportunity to address the board. Yes, come right up here. Just give us your name and address.
My name's Lynn Hewitt. I live at 32 Lawrence Avenue, which is technically a Tuckahoe, I know, but I'm here representing the neighborhood because we've been having a lot of traffic issues on Lincoln Avenue. And I know, Ms. Nicholson, that I will be bringing this in a formal report for you for next Tuesday's meeting. We're putting it all together. But as of right now, and this is only a couple of afternoons of neighbors signing, we have 97 signatures just from one side of Lincoln asking for some major changes. Part of this, Tuckahoe is going to have to deal with too. We understand that a lot of intersections are theirs, so you're both getting the exact same petition, same signatures, and same requests, because we know you'll have to work together. So first and foremost, as we move from 22 down Lincoln, the two-sided church parking is making it impossible on Sundays for us to get through, access our homes, and the backup is starting to hit 22, and it's becoming very, very dangerous. They have the middle school parking lot. They have a traffic cop who's helping them cross the road that they've hired. So there's no reason for the 10 spots they're taking to make it dangerous for the entire neighborhood. In fact, the street's only 21.5 feet wide. There should be 8 feet for each line of parking and 10 feet for each travel. So two-way travel, two-way parking just doesn't work for us anymore, especially as our cars all get bigger with SUVs and delivery vans. Next, we'd like to have a zebra-striped crosswalk at Park and Lincoln Avenue where there's a 4-way intersection. It's right by the high school. Waverly, Greenville, and Ann Hutch all use it as a bus stop. And there was another accident about 2.5 weeks ago where somebody blew through the stop sign and hit a man on a scooter. We're hoping adding a crosswalk will draw attention to it so you can see it from farther away, even if the sun's in your eyes at a stop sign. It also will give officers the chance to have a double ticket if somebody runs it. They've now not yielded to the pedestrian, and they've run through the stop sign. And that intersection is only 573 feet from the middle school. So everyone in our neighborhood walks to the middle school or high school, no busing. And we have one crosswalk at 22, one at Columbus. There is no other marked crosswalk the entire section of Lincoln, which is almost 2,500 feet long for the main commuter fare for everyone accessing Crestwood on our side and everyone accessing the middle and the high school coming up and through the neighborhood. We're also asking, just so you know, and we are aware these are Tuckahoe intersections, but we also know traffic flow intersects with each other and it would be a team effort. At Lawrence Avenue, there's currently a stop sign headed down, but not back up. And with the beautiful Leawood Park, we have people who want to cross and come ride their bikes, walk their kids down Lawrence Avenue, and they can't safely get across because there's nobody stopping in one of the directions. So we're asking Tuckahoe to add a stop and a crosswalk there. Then, as you move down at Marbledale, we have no crosswalk on the Lincoln Avenue side. Fisher Avenue does have one. So we'd like a lit crosswalk there because we have commuters and some of my neighbors here who have to commute to and from the train can't get across. Nobody's yielding to pedestrians at the Marbledale intersection because there's no crosswalk right now. Then at Oakland Avenue, I'm sure you guys hear the regular accidents at the five-way intersection there because there's the Korean Church preschool, so you've got really little kids there and it's a school zone. No stops, so nobody's yielding to let people cross. Finally, at Columbus Avenue, there's no stop sign coming away from Tuckahoe towards the Bronx River. So getting across that crosswalk, nobody's allowing the pedestrians across. So we'd like a lit one there too for the winter because there's a cop at the traffic light at the other end to help people up Fisher, but nobody to help people up Lincoln Avenue. So if we could have an enhanced crosswalk of some kind or an additional stop sign so that we can all move safely around. Because when this road was designed, it wasn't designed for the size of the cars, for Amazon delivery trucks, for deliveries of groceries, and now we are just overwhelmed and we want to be able to access our train, our school, and our new park safely. So if you would consider this, I will make sure the full write-up gets to you with all the signatures before next Tuesday for your meeting.
Well, what I would suggest you do is, we have a Traffic and Parking Advisory Committee called TPAC.
And that meets on Tuesday.
Yes, and that's important to vet it through them,
Yeah.
because the traffic lieutenants are there,
Yeah.
they'll reach out to AAA, they'll reach out to the school district, they'll reach out to anybody that's involved with this location, because it is a tough spot. You know, what's particularly difficult, what annoys me more than anything, is this acceptable practice of every UPS, FedEx, Amazon, everybody, DoorDash, Uber, just leave their car wherever they want, block all the traffic, and people trying to get around. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The other problem you have is the pickup scene at the middle school. People are queuing up there at 12:30, 1 o'clock, waiting for the 2:35 dismissal, and they're all in Carey Place. They're all double parking, sometimes triple parking on Manchester. So what happens is that east-west traffic ends up getting backed up. So as soon as the officer down on the corner waves traffic, they're flying down the hill because they've been waiting there. And then you have the church, and then you have the other church, and then you have all the commuters. So it's definitely a tough area.
Yeah, and 2,500 feet between crosswalks for that densely populated of an area in the first place, never mind 2 schools and a train station is not enough to get us
Well,
safely
the other
across.
problem, I think, but maybe when St. Luke's Church was, I guess, a practicing parish, they did not have a lot of people attending services. So now that this church is obviously much more involved and much more, gathers many more people, so, I'm glad they're using the middle school lot, although we're not supposed to condone that. I'm glad they're doing that. But parking on both side streets is difficult. Also, as you're probably aware, there's a great deli over there, but all the landscapers pull the trucks up right alongside the church on Lincoln, and you can't get through. It's a nightmare.
You can't, and it's used by all the schools as our bus stop. So all of 3 of us have children at that bus stop, and we're standing there in the mornings as cars are blowing through. I'm not even saying rolling through the stop sign, blowing through the one at Park on Lincoln. That's the Eastchester-owned intersection.
Well, we'll get some enforcement going there, and B, the Traffic and Parking Advisory Committee is important because they'll, vet out all of the crosswalks, and, we try to avoid crosswalks where there are no stop signs or where there's, an extra long crosswalk. Maybe there's an occasion to put an island in or something along those lines. So, if you vet it through them, they are very diligent in their examination. And then whatever they recommend, we'll put in place. And, it's not too hard, and everyone's motivated. There was, for years, there were very active neighborhood associations there that would bring all the stuff to our attention, so I'm glad you've done that for us. So we'll certainly get to work on that and make the place safer. No problem.
And I'll see you next week, Ms. Nicholson.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much, Lynn. Anyone else care to speak? Okay, she covered a lot of ground. Okay. Okay. I guess that concludes our meeting. Anyone care to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you all.